All right. So the constitutional revolution, it came 1906 to 1911. We have to remember that this was, again, I always like to put it in the greater context of the region, right? The Ottoman Empire had gone through similar process of understanding the relationship between the ruler, the sultan, and the people, and the intelligentsia, and the middle class, and outside powers like Russia or Britain or France, and the will to limit the powers of the ruler. So the same kind of conversations took place almost everywhere around Iran from the 1870s on. Newspapers that talked about the need of constitution were smuggled into Iran from the Ottoman Empire. And then the revolution started, the demand for constitution and parliament and representation. There was something very chaotic in this revolution, but also something very optimistic. And I think that this is kind of a thread that we see throughout the political crisis in Iran, that there's always this chaos living with great optimism, that this event will change everything. Overall, the revolution succeeded. A constitution was written. Iranians became citizens. There was an element of representation by elections. Religious minorities were protected and represented. It succeeded. It created some checks and balances on the king, on the Shah. It was packed differently in the early 20th century with the constitutional revolution in Iran that actually turned all Iranians from imperial subjects into citizens with all its civil meanings. So Iranian Jews became citizens with agency and constitution that pretty much drew the line of belonging. And ever since then, it's been a game. It's a dance. 2 steps to one side, 1 step to the other. Ever since the constitutional revolution, this is what we talk about in terms of legal status and even social status that is reflected by the political participation.